They lied to you. Every single analyst, every single expert, every single person who told you Brock Lesnar was done, that he was finished, that he had no reason to ever set foot inside a WWE arena again, they all lied. Because what happened this week? What happened when Brock Lesnar showed up out of nowhere and put his hands on Obafimi? That wasn't a comeback. That wasn't a return. That was a declaration of war. And now Adam Pearce has called the actual, real-life police on Brock Lesnar. We are talking handcuffs. We are talking charges. We are talking about the most dangerous man in WWE history potentially being thrown behind bars for what he did to the NXT North American champion. Drop everything. Turn your phone off. Tell whoever is in the room with you to sit down, because this story is about to get insane. Segment 1: Setting the scene. Let's rewind the clock and make sure everybody watching this video understands exactly what led to this moment, because context is everything when we talk about Brock Lesnar. This is not a man who shows up without a reason. This is not a man who acts on impulse without calculation. Every single thing Brock Lesnar has ever done in his entire career has been deliberate, purposeful, executed with the cold precision of someone who genuinely does not care about consequences. Obafimi has been on an absolute tear in WWE. If you have not been watching this young man work, you are genuinely missing out on one of the most physically gifted, psychologically menacing, and naturally intimidating performers that WWE has produced in years. The man is enormous. He moves like someone who was built in a laboratory specifically to make other wrestlers look small. He talks with authority. He carries himself like a champion. And most importantly, he backs it up in the ring. So when Brock Lesnar decided that Obafimi was the target, when the Beast Incarnate set his sights on this rising star, the entire WWE universe collectively held its breath. Because we all know what Brock Lesnar does to rising stars. We have seen it time and time again. He breaks them. He embarrasses them. He takes everything they have built and dismantles it with his bare hands. But here is the thing that nobody was prepared for. Nobody saw this coming. And that is exactly why this moment hits so differently than anything else we have seen in WWE in a very long time. Segment 2: The attack itself. Brock Lesnar did not knock on the door. He did not send a warning. He did not call ahead. He showed up, and he did what Brock Lesnar does: he destroyed. The attack on Obafimi was vicious. It was calculated. It was the kind of assault that makes you forget for just 1 second that you were watching professional wrestling, because the intensity radiating off of Brock Lesnar in that moment felt completely and utterly real. The suplex, the F5, the repeated punishment, the absolute refusal to stop even as officials rushed to the ring. Brock Lesnar looked at every single one of them like they were nothing more than obstacles. And Obafimi, to his enormous credit, did not go down easy. The man tried to fight back. He tried. And you could see in his eyes that this was not someone who was afraid. This was someone who was genuinely caught off guard by the ferocity, by the speed, by the sheer overwhelming force that Brock Lesnar brought to that ring. Because that is the thing about Brock Lesnar that newer fans sometimes forget: this man was a legitimate NCAA Division I heavyweight wrestling champion. This man competed in the UFC. This man has done things in real-life combat that most professional wrestlers could never even dream of matching. When Brock Lesnar goes into that dangerous, unpredictable mode, there is no script that protects you. There is no spot that saves you. You are just at the mercy of one of the most terrifying physical specimens that the world of combat sports has ever produced. Obafimi was left laying. Officials were scrambling. The crowd was on their feet, not cheering, not booing, just in absolute shock. And Brock Lesnar? He stood over his fallen victim with that look. You know the look. That empty, satisfied, I told you so look that he gets when he has proven his point beyond any shadow of a doubt. Segment 3: Adam Pearce drops the bomb. Now here is where this story transitions from incredible to absolutely unprecedented in modern WWE history. Adam Pearce, the on-screen general manager, the authority figure, the man who is supposed to keep order in WWE, came out after the attack. And normally, in a situation like this, you expect a promo. You expect a suspension. You expect a fine or a ban or some kind of kayfabe disciplinary action that keeps the story moving forward. That is the playbook. That is what WWE has always done. But Adam Pearce did not follow the playbook. Adam Pearce called the police. Real police. Law enforcement. Officers of the actual law showing up in the arena with the explicit purpose of detaining Brock Lesnar for criminal assault on Obafimi. Let that sink in for a moment. Because this is not something WWE does lightly. This is not something they do at all, really not in this way, not with this kind of gravitas, not with this level of commitment to the bit. When WWE blurs the line between the world of professional wrestling and actual real-world legal consequences, they are doing something bold. They are making a statement. They are telling the audience, this situation is so out of control, so beyond the normal boundaries of what we can handle internally, that we have had to involve people with actual authority and actual power to intervene. Adam Pearce looked into that camera and made it crystal clear Brock Lesnar crossed a line. Not a wrestling line. Not a sports entertainment line. A line. The kind of line that has consequences in the real world. And if Brock Lesnar thought that walking out of that building was going to be as simple as it always has been, if he thought he was just going to collect his bag, hop in his truck, and drive back to his farm in Saskatchewan without anyone stopping him, he was wrong. Segment for the arrest attempt. Now I want to be very precise about the language here, because the details matter, and I am not going to be one of those channels that exaggerates or sensationalizes for the sake of clicks. What was reported, what was shown, was the police being called, officers arriving at the arena, the intent and the instruction being given to locate Brock Lesnar and place him under arrest for the assault on Obafimi. Whether or not Brock Lesnar was successfully apprehended, whether those cuffs actually went on, is something we are going to get into. But first, I need you to understand why this is so significant from a storytelling perspective, because WWE is doing something here that is genuinely brilliant, even if it is also completely chaotic. By involving law enforcement even in a worked capacity within the narrative, WWE is elevating the stakes of this rivalry to a level that makes it feel like the most important thing happening in professional wrestling right now. This is not a championship feud in the traditional sense. This is not about a title. This is about a man, Brock Lesnar, who has apparently decided that the rules do not apply to him, that he can walk into any building, attack anyone he wants, and walk away clean because he always has before. And Adam Pearce calling the police is WWE's way of saying, not this time. Not on our watch. Not to Obafimi. Segment 5: What this means for Obafimi. Let's talk about what this does for Obafimi's character and career trajectory, because I think this is the most underrated part of this entire story and nobody is giving it enough credit. Obafimi just got attacked by Brock Lesnar. Think about what that means symbolically. Think about the list of people Brock Lesnar has targeted throughout his career. John Cena, Roman Reigns, The Undertaker, Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman. These are legends. These are Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers. These are the absolute elite of WWE across multiple generations. And now Obafimi is on that list. You do not get to be on that list by accident. Brock Lesnar does not pick targets randomly. He picks people who represent something: power, relevance, the future. And by attacking Obafimi, Brock Lesnar has just handed this young man the single most valuable thing that WWE can give a developing star: a legitimate, undeniable, completely inarguable stamp of approval from the most credible destroyer in the history of this company. Obafimi was already on his way. But after this, the ceiling is gone. If WWE handles this correctly, and there is every reason to believe they will, Obafimi versus Brock Lesnar could be one of the most compelling, physically spectacular, emotionally resonant feuds of 2025. Two giants. Two forces of nature. One with everything to prove. One with everything to lose. Segment 6: Brock's motivation and the bigger picture. But why? Why Obafimi? Why now? Why would Brock Lesnar come back and immediately go after this specific target? There are a few theories circulating in the wrestling world right now, and I want to walk you through all of them because honestly, any one of them could be the answer, or it could be all of them combined. Theory 1: Brock Lesnar sees Obafimi as a threat to his legacy. A young, massive, dominant force who is being positioned as the next great monster of WWE. And Brock Lesnar, being the egomaniac that his character absolutely is, cannot allow someone to come along and take that title without being tested by the original. Theory 2: This is business. Someone hired Brock Lesnar. Someone with an agenda against Obafimi reached out, made an offer, and Brock Lesnar, who has always been motivated by money and leverage, took the job. If that is the case, the question of who is behind it becomes the most fascinating mystery in WWE right now. Theory 3: Brock Lesnar is not done competing. He wants one more run, one more title chase, one more moment in the spotlight. And taking out Obafimi was never really about Obafimi, it was about sending a message to the entire locker room, to Cody Rhodes, to Roman Reigns, to every single person in that company who thinks that Brock Lesnar is a chapter that has already been written and closed. He is telling everyone the book is still open. Segment 7: The reaction and the fallout. The reaction from the WWE locker room, at least what has leaked out, has been fascinating. People are shaken. Not because they are afraid of Brock Lesnar exactly, though there is certainly an element of that, but because the manner of the attack was so jarring, so outside the normal operating procedure, so completely unhinged from what anyone expected. Even the referees who tried to intervene have reportedly said the energy in that arena in that moment was unlike anything they had experienced in a long time. There was a genuine electricity, not the good kind, but the kind that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, the kind that makes you take a step back and reassess everything you thought you knew about the situation. Adam Pearce, for his part, has made it clear that he will not tolerate this, that there will be consequences. that Brock Lesnar cannot simply use WWE as a playground for violence without facing real accountability. And while some fans, let's be honest, are thrilled to see Lesnar back in any capacity, the message from WWE's authority figures is clear: this time, things are going to be different. Closing the call to action. Here is what I need from you, the Ring Rumble 1 community, right now. Do you think Brock Lesnar actually gets arrested? Do you think this is the beginning of one of the greatest feuds of this generation? And most importantly, who do you think wins when Obafimi and Brock Lesnar finally collide one-on-one in that ring? Drop it in the comments right now. I am reading every single one. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know, because this story is only getting started and you do not want anyone you care about missing what comes next. Like the video if you want more Ring Rumble 1 coverage on this feud as it develops, and subscribe if you are new here, because we do not waste your time. We give you the real conversation. Brock Lesnar is back. Obafimi has been put on notice. And WWE will never be the same. Ring Rumble 1. We ride with the chaos. Quick tips for filming this. Pause dramatically after they all lied for 2 seconds before continuing. The silence hits hard on camera. Raise your voice slightly on bolded words / caps. Energy is everything. Add B-roll clips of Lesnar's past attacks during segments 2 and 5 to keep visual pacing tight.